Hello everyone! After a long time, I welcome you back to my channel, and today I want to introduce you to reviews of this wonderful restaurant. Right now we find ourselves at the Soho Restaurant, which is an incredibly stylish wedding venue in Prague. Of course, it's not limited to weddings. You're welcome to use it for any special occasion, whether it's a birthday, corporate event, private party, or any other event. First and foremost, I'm filming this space today to show you the location for a wedding banquet, as well as the setup options and potential for your celebration. Let's go check it. We're now in the first hall. Just behind me are the main entrance and central bar, an ideal spot for welcoming and receiving your guests. If you've rented the entire venue, this area can be turned into a comfortable and elegant lounge space. Alternatively, you can use it as a banquet space. All these glass walls can be opened up, creating a large banquet area for you. If you have a smaller wedding, the main wedding hall is located right behind me. Of course, Soho could be taken as an event space, not just a wedding hall, but today we're highlighting it as wedding place. So if you are planning your day, this is where your main banquet can take place. In my opinion, this is the most thematically appropriate place. Since our hall is white and has white decor, you can basically do whatever you like here. The hall itself is quite elegant, so it's perfect for this. So you won't need large investments for some huge wedding floral arrangements. Conversely, you could consider using something more minimalist to emphasize the beauty of this interior space. So friends, as I mentioned before, this restaurant is divided into two areas. Right now we're in the first one. Essentially, the second zone is the most suitable for weddings. Of course, you're more than welcome to use both zones, or you can choose to use just one zone. Of course, everything depends on your preferences and how you organize what you need for your event. But anyway, this is how the first area looks like, and it can be used for the welcome reception, for example. If your ceremony was held somewhere outside this restaurant, for example, in Vrtbovska Garden, it's a lovely option to connect with the Soho Restaurant, since both are in Prague and so not far from each other. Also, when it comes to the cuisine, here we have Asian fusion and sushi. This is their classic cuisine, but they're always open to preparing a dish tailored to your preferences. If there's something specific you'd like to serve your guests, feel free to discuss it. Everything can be arranged and tailored to your event's needs. A lot can be arranged here, in theory, depending on your preferences. The only thing to keep in mind is that the maximum capacity of the entire space for a wedding event or party like this is limited. 350 guests total. This hall fits 150 and the other one fits 200. The venue can only be rented as a whole. Using just one section is not possible, as it would disturb other guests. This policy helps preserve the comfort and atmosphere for everyone. So we can exclusively rent out the entire restaurant for ourselves, ensuring complete privacy and a fully private atmosphere for our event. This is the first point. The second is that there are two options here. Roughly speaking, this means using the restaurant from morning until evening, or for half a day, starting from 3 p.m. until the evening. But what needs to be taken into account, of course, is the preparation time. If we say from 3 p.m., it doesn't mean that you arrive here exactly at 3. Some additional time after 3 p.m. is still needed for the restaurant to get ready for you. So, returning to the topic of the furniture. As I said, the standard setup here would feature chairs like these, offering both comfort and style for your event. These are basically square tables. If you want round tables, they need to be brought in, that is, rented from an additional company. But this restaurant has a special feature that many people use nowadays, and it looks pretty cool. Basically, instead of round tables, you can create a setup like this. Right now we have 8 people seated here. This is practically a classic standard round table. Here you can see the classic setup that is available here at Soho Restaurant. The only detail you should know is the length of the tablecloth. Right now it's short, but the restaurant also has longer tablecloths available. So to sum up, everything you see in this restaurant can be requested to be kept and used for your decoration. You can use these large square tables instead of round ones. You can also use these chairs if you want something different. Of course, you can order them through an external company, or if I organize the wedding for you, we will handle it for you. If you want to completely change everything here to your own style, all the restaurant's furniture is removed and you bring in everything yourself, what you wish through the decor company. So, this is one of the coolest parts of the restaurant. Right now we are on the terrace. Basically a breath of fresh air. You can imagine the wedding banquet, everything takes place in the hall, dancing, dinner, and so on. Of course, every guest will appreciate the chance to get some fresh air, perhaps step outside for a quick smoke break, or simply sit and unwind for a moment during the celebration. In a bit of quiet, in a lounge-like area, guests can chat with others, the newlyweds, and so on during the event. And actually, this restaurant offers you that opportunity. We are now on the terrace, which has a view of the river. Of course, there are certain nuances to consider. We are located near the yellow baths, and it's important to understand that here, also, outside the restaurant's premises, there is active life from another venue. But in any case, most wedding banquet events begin after 5 p.m., after lunchtime. The banquet roughly starts at 5 p.m., which is when the activity near begins to calm down. This is exactly where the children's pool area is located, which closes closer to the evening. So I wouldn't pay too much attention to this or worry about it too much, but in any case, it's important to be aware of it and take it into account. You should consider it. An important addition I'd like to mention is about the furniture at terrace. This area can either be kept completely clear for your event, or it can remain set up just as you see it now, whichever you prefer. You can use cocktail tables and place them here to create a relaxed atmosphere and enjoy drinks comfortably. You can bring in some extra decor here and create a cool lounge area. Accordingly to your concept, we also set up additional lighting here, like hanging extra string lights and decorations to create a cool atmosphere. The lights create a beautiful romantic atmosphere in the evening. There are many ideas overall. The main thing is that the venue allows you to work with these ideas. And basically what you need to remember is that the venue has 3 areas: the main hall, the second hall, and the terrace. So guys, we have just explored the Soho Restaurant and its 3 sections: the first hall, the second hall, and the terrace. Now you can see the facade of the Soho Restaurant.nt. The restaurant is located in the Prague 4 district, so if we are holding the wedding here, we will register the marriage at the Prague 4 registry office. I mean, if we organize the ceremony here, not the banquet, then we contact the Prague 4 registry office. In any case, the location is quite convenient because even though it is already considered as a Prague 4 district, but we are actually very close to the center of Prague. It is also quite convenient to get to the restaurant, both by public transport and by private car. A transfer with your guests can also arrive here. There are parking spaces located on the right side of the restaurant. The only thing you need to keep in mind is that this restaurant is located on a relatively busy street. This is something to keep in mind during your planning process, especially when deciding where exactly the welcome part of your event will take place. So well to think about where specific moments will happen. The terrace compensated this rush street by a lovely view to the river. Well, that brings our review to the end. It was a Soho restaurant, and I am saying you bye. See next time at next venue.